What's going on, everybody? Welcome back for another conversation, and this one's going to get a little in depth because I think for those who are American football fans and those who are in the news and are paying attention to what's going on with the Chicago Bears situation, um, you're getting information from people who are not here on the ground in Chicago, and I think that is a major problem with the talk so far about what's going on with the Chicago Bears. Because I'm seeing a lot of people who, funny enough, when it comes to politics, has a completely different ideology than to what's going on with the situation in Chicago, which just makes absolutely no sense. But I mean, in this day and age, a lot of people don't make no fucking sense with some of the shit that they claim to be with what they claim to be about. I think a big problem and an uncomfortable conversation for a lot of people is that a lot of people are walking contradictions. They say one thing and do another. And we're going to get into this because this entire situation with the Chicago Bears is very, very interesting. Big up, Aaron. Appreciate you stopping by for the conversation always, my guy. Hope all is well with you. But let's get into it. I've been hearing more and more. Sorry, I'm going to just be frank this whole time because this whole scenario has got me pissed off. I've been hearing more and more fucking idiots talking nonsensical bullshit once again about a situation that they have no idea what they're talking about. And they're even telling false information to protect the McCaskey ownership of the Chicago Bears, which is an absolute abysmal fucking ownership. Big up Kyle Walsh, my guy. My guy. Big up Kyle Walsh every time. We just did me and Kyle real quick before we get into it with the Bears. We did an awesome who you would pay to see your 11, and Kyle's 11 is just as good as any other 11 that I've had the privilege of hearing from all the guys. Everybody, if you didn't get a chance to see it, go watch it. We talked about some big time legendary players and a lot of names that you don't hear every day for great players. And I just think it was an awesome and an absolute privilege to have Kyle Walsh on the show, another person who has the same enthusiasm for the game of football as I do. And we agree on a lot with the problems in the sport today, but we'll get into that a little later. But let's talk about it. You know, people are talking about Stephen A. Smith, Rachel Nichols, Colin Cowherd, and all these other fucking idiots across the board who are really showing their hand right now that they are walking contradictions of themselves. You hear all the time nowadays when it comes to the politics that the billionaires need to pay their fair share. The rich needs to pay their fair share, right? That's what you hear a lot nowadays. The problem is these people all share those same views, but then they are a walking contradiction as soon as it comes to the world of sport for some reason, because they're all coming to the aid and trying to back the worst ownership in the NFL by a country mile and are trying to convince taxpayers that we should pay for a billionaire's new stadium because somehow the McCaskeys don't have enough money. How much of a fucking disgrace is this? You got people that are sports writers that swear up and down when you look at their Instagrams or anytime they get political when it comes to talking about the rich need to pay their fair share and we should be taxing the rich more and all this. Immediately, the first sign of it, they say, no. Let the fans, the taxpayers, the people who don't have as much money as the owners to flip the bill for the rich. It just goes to show you how many fucking people are full of shit. It just goes to show you how many fucking people are full of shit and they don't even believe what they're talking about. Arsenal fans all know and complain about the Crunkies with how they've ran the team. Big up Paris every single time. Appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate it every time, man. Hope all is well. Everybody likes to talk about, like with the Cronkies, on how the American ownership has really hurt the team overall up until the recent billion spent for Arteta. Guess what, man? They're nowhere near as bad as the McCaskies. The McCaskey ownership of the Chicago Bears is the worst ownership in the history of the NFL, because where they were under their grandfather, George Halas, who nickname is Papa Bear and is the coach and the mainstay person behind the built and the aura that the Chicago Bears have to this day, is him. As soon as he gave it up to his daughter, Virginia McCaskey, and they became the owners, the McCaskey ownership has done fucking nothing for the Chicago Bears except turn them into a cash cow because of the fact that they only own the Bears. For those that don't know, for those that don't pay attention to what's going on as far as with American sports and all that, majority of the owners that own football teams in the majority of the people who own football teams here in America are billionaires because of companies that they've owned to make their money. Okay? The Chicago Bears have been majority owned by the McCaskies from the very beginning. Right? So at the end of the day, the situation with the Bears is the Bears are a team that don't really need the money. The Chicago Bears are worth $8.9 billion. $8.9 billion is what the Chicago Bears are worth. Their revenue stream, a yearly revenue stream, is nearly $630 million a year. So the question then becomes, if the team's worth $8.9 billion, where's the fucking money? Anybody want to answer that? If you're worth $8.9 billion, why are you trying to figure out a way for the taxpayers to pay for your fucking stadium? If you're making $630 million a year in operating revenue for the Chicago Bears, why in God's name do you need the taxpayers to flip the bill on a fucking stadium? What are we doing here? Big up Arteta hate. I'm assuming you're talking about that with Arsenal. Yeah, I would agree. I would 100% agree with that. But again, this is what you get when they're learning about all of the nonsense that goes on here in the NFL world over here in America, because the McCaskies, Chicago owners in general have had this history. Chicago ownership is really the ownership that has paved the way for how a lot of these teams do business. Big up Toronto Gooner. Listen, man, the Baltimore Ravens are a good team. The Baltimore Ravens are really the AFC mirror of the Chicago Bears. Their history has been great running backs and great defense, very similar to the Chicago Bears. They're a team that I like. If the Bears have a shit year, if I'm going to lean towards any other team, for me it'd be the Baltimore Ravens, because they're very similar to the Chicago Bears. So I hear that. The Ravens are a good team, and they've been more successful than us recently because they got much better ownership. Yeah, Paris, it does go in their pockets. It does go in their pockets. And that's the problem here. And the fact of the matter is, once again, we've seen in the political sphere in America, you got people talking about how the rich need to pay their fair share of taxes, but then are now trying to find a way to where the taxpayer has to pay off the rich again. It's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. Here's what everybody needs to know about this Chicago Bears situation. The city of Chicago, through the Park District, made an agreement with the Chicago Bears that the city gets 32.5% of every dollar the Chicago Bears make on game day, because the Chicago Bears do not own their own stadium. They rent it from the Chicago Park District. That is the whole reason why this whole conversation about the Bears leaving the city of Chicago has come up. Now, the Chicago Bears spent quite a bit of money on the property out in Arlington Heights, known as the former Arlington Heights Racetrack. The Arlington Heights Racetrack was worth a couple $100 million that they bought, because that was the talk that they were going to go to move the team. Now, for those that don't know, currently right now in the NFL, there's 11 different teams that do not play in the city that their name is. The New York Jets and the New York Giants don't play in the city of New York. They play in New Jersey. The Dallas Cowboys don't play in Dallas. There's plenty of teams that do this. It's amazing how everyone says, oh, you can't, the Bears can't do it. The Bears can't do it. Why? Why? What the fuck? We can't do it? So this is the only city where the fans have to pay not only the crazy high tickets, not only the crazy high prices within the stadium, but now we got to pay for your stadium too. Where the fuck does it end? The city gets 32.5%. For those who also don't know, the city of Chicago is one of the worst cities in America when it comes to crazy taxes on every little thing. When you buy a ticket to go see the Chicago Bears, if you buy a ticket for anything in the city of Chicago, you have to pay two taxes. You have to pay the city of Chicago sale tax, and you have to pay the city of Chicago's entertainment tax. You get taxed to go get entertained for anything. For anything. Concert. You want to go see your favorite band in the city of Chicago. You're paying sales tax and you're paying entertainment tax. Oh, Toronto, Canada is probably one of the very few places that's worse than Chicago with that. Just Canada in general. You guys are insane with taxes. But again, it is what it is. But for the Chicago Bears fans, you have to pay two taxes. Entertainment tax and sales tax. That's what you got to do. For those that don't know, if it wasn't for the crazy high taxes around San Francisco in California, if the taxes got lowered down, the Chicago Bears are the most expensive team to see in the NFL on a one-off game on average. On average, the Chicago Bears is the most expensive team to go see. Meanwhile, they haven't won a fucking title in over 40 years. Because the ownership doesn't give a fuck. See, the 1985 Bears, what a lot of people forget is every year they're voted the greatest team in NFL history. What people forget to leave out is the next year, when they should have won back-to-back titles, the McCaskies then told all the different players to go fuck themselves. One of the greatest linebackers to ever play the game of the NFL, Wilber Marshall, was told to go fuck himself because they weren't paying him. Because that's when the cheapskate mentality came in, to where they started creating this monster amount of money for the Chicago Bears, because once again, the McCaskies are the only family that owns a football team that doesn't come from money. All their money is built on fucking the fan base over with crazy high prices and a bunch of what-if stories every few years. It's the same fucking cycle all over again. Well, Urlacher was a great player for us. The problem was Urlacher was one of the few that got money because they had to, because he was a franchise player and one of the greatest middle linebackers of all time. But the problem at the end of the day with the damn McCaskies is they screw everybody over when it comes to that madness. Every single time. Every single time. Wilber Marshall from 85, one of the best linebackers. He went on to win a Super Bowl within 2 years after leaving the Bears with another team. I believe it was the Washington Redskins, if I'm not mistaken. It's bullshit. They have been cheap this whole time. Everybody with the Chicago Bears, every 4 years, it's the same fucking thing. They get a brand new quarterback out of the draft. He looks good for maybe a year and a half, 2 years. The finances fuck everything up in the third year and the fourth year. It's the final nail in the coffin. We fuck up. And once after we do the 4 years, we do it all over again. because these motherfuckers will never pay the money and need to keep a certain amount of money to the side because that's all they're about. Again, the math ain't mathing, people. Soldier Field is the smallest NFL stadium in the country. Hence the reason why Chicago didn't get a single game for the upcoming World Cup, because we don't have the numbers to fill the stadium up. That's number one. Number two, again, the city of Chicago gets 32.5% of every dollar the Bears make on game day. On top of which, they also get the double tax amount as well. They get their sales tax, and they get you get your entertainment tax, or if you're buying booze, you get sales tax and your alcohol tax. So you're double taxed on every single fucking purchase that you make. If you go to buy merchandise, there's the sales tax, and then once again, entertainment tax. We're lucky that they haven't even, they'll soon probably find a way to put a merchandising tax on it as well. But you're double taxed on everything you do when it comes to the Chicago Bears. So they make their money. The problem at the end of the day is once again, we are allowing people who are not from the city of Chicago, who could give two fucks about the people of Chicago, tell us that we need to flip a bill just because of the fact that all of these sports writers are going to be sad that the Chicago Bears are leaving the city of Chicago. Guess what? The McCaskies can go fuck themselves. My tax dollars should not have to go up because these motherfuckers want to cry cheap. If you're worth $8.9 billion, you got enough to leverage some fucking debt against that net worth for you to be able to build this new stadium. Because the new stadium would make you nothing but money. You put a dome stadium in the city of Chicago, you're going to host Super Bowls. You're going to host the NCAA Final Four, which is massive amounts of money. Massive amounts of money. And it's not only just being able to host these things, it's also being able to let the rest of the city eat. See, what a lot of people forgot, the world works when everybody eats. The problem is that ain't happening right now. Not everybody is being allowed to eat. That's the whole reason why everybody's in an uproar across the board. Yeah, they need a new stadium, but them rich motherfucking owners need to pay for it, Lynch. The taxpayers should not be flipping the bill on at least $2.5 to $3.5 billion to build a stadium for a professional sports team. I'm sorry. The Chicago Bears are worth nearly $9 billion. They can afford to go out and buy their own season. Yeah. No, 100%. Big up, Zier. Big up, Zier, every time. Hope everything's all good with you, brother. I'll be putting the link out here in a little bit, but I got to get this off my chest with the Chicago Bears because I'm so fucking sick of this shit. You got idiots from New York City, the West Coast, down south, and not even from the fucking Midwest. My man. I appreciate it. He's a hometown hero. He's a hometown hero. But no, man, fuck the Bears. Go to Indiana. Go get your tax breaks. Go get your tax breaks you want. The fact of the matter that you're worried about you paying property taxes or proper amount of property taxes in the city of Chicago when you have an operating income of over $600 million a year and your net worth is $8.9 billion. I'm sorry, brother. I don't give a fuck about you. Your property taxes should have nothing to do with us as fans. Nothing. You already haven't won a fucking title in 40 years. And let me be very honest with you here. It's not only the owners that are at blame, it's the fans. The Chicago Bear fans are also to blame for this because the Chicago Bear fans is the dumbest fucking fan base when it comes to fucking the NFL. Everybody likes to talk shit about the Dallas Cowboys, and trust me, don't get me wrong, the Dallas Cowboy fans give the Bears a good run for their money. But the Bears are the fucking worst. We haven't won a title in 40 years. We still got idiots dressing up like Mike Ditka every fucking year going to Bears games with the fake mustache, the wig, the glasses, the button up, the pussy ass fucking Bears sweater that they put over the button up. They're still fucking going up dressed like some fucking asshole that coached this team 40 years ago and think that that's okay. Why are we okay with mediocrity? We're the Chicago Bears. We're the second biggest franchise in the history of this sport. We have the most amount of Hall of Famers in the NFL, more than any other team. We have the second most amount of titles. The sad thing is, majority of those titles came before the first Super Bowl in the 60s. That's the problem. We've won one Super Bowl. That was 1986 off the 85 season. We ain't won shit since because the fan base has allowed this ownership to convince you that mediocrity is okay and that you shouldn't be talking shit about this ownership even though they make all this fucking money. It's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. You're paying anywhere between $200 to $400 if you're going to a fucking Bears game and getting one beer, one piece of food, and a certain piece of merchandise on top of your fucking ticket with all the taxes being hit on you. It's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. My guy, Kyle Walsh. Appreciate it, my guy. Appreciate it. No, man, it's fucking infuriating. Kyle, we've talked about it. We've talked about it. The working man off the back of the working man is the reason why sport became big. Sport now is becoming so corporate, it's absolutely ridiculous. And it doesn't get more corporate than the fact that you got the likes of billionaires telling regular everyday people that your taxes need to go up to fund my stadium build. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. None of these motherfuckers should be telling anybody who's not making a tenth of what these motherfuckers are making. They don't have a right to tell anybody that you got to pay for their stadium. Make it make sense. And what makes it even crazier is this, right? The Bears make $670 million a year, and they have the smallest stadium in the world as far as NFL teams are concerned. What do you think would happen if they made an 80,000 person stadium? First of all, here's the better question. If you went to Indiana where your tax breaks alone would pay for the fucking stadium, are you going to lower the price for everything? And I'll tell you what the answer is. The answer is going to be no. That's the problem. They're not going to lower the price of anything. They'll get all the tax breaks in the world if they go to Indiana and they're going to charge the same amount. It's going to be $20 for one fucking beer, like it already is at Soldier Field. That's what's going to happen. They're already taxing you for fucking burgers, dogs, Polish, whatever. That's what they're fucking hitting you for. And it's not going to change even with the tax breaks. So what the fuck are we doing here? Why are we trying to figure out how to pay for a billionaire? How fucking goddamn stupid is this? This is why all them stupid motherfuckers on ESPN and all these other assholes on all these different sports channels that are talking about this nonsense about how the city of Chicago needs to come together and fucking figure out a way to keep the Bears in the city of Chicago. Fuck them motherfuckers. My tax dollars should not go to no fucking billionaire to build a fucking stadium. And especially, I shouldn't be hearing it from any of these idiots who've wanted to take political stances talking about billionaires got to pay their fair share. But at the first moment, you turn around and say, no, they don't have to pay their fair share. The taxpayers should pay the billions of dollars that it's going to cost to build a brand new stadium. Go fuck yourselves. Go fuck yourselves. The entitlement for somebody to think like that is fucking bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. Go fuck yourselves. Absolutely, it's a world-class city. Listen, I'm biased. I've been born and raised here. For me, this is the best city in America, if you ask me. But again, do we deserve a world-class stadium? Yeah. The problem is people like me should not be paying money for these fucking billionaires. Regular, everyday people should not have to flip the bill for the fucking billionaires. They shouldn't. If the Bears are worth nearly $9 billion, there should be no problem of you coming up with a way to levy fucking debt or to take out a loan against your net worth or anything else that you can do to pull out a loan for $3.5 billion, at least. Who gives a shit? You're worried about property taxes? Really? That's what we're fighting about here? We're fighting about property taxes for you to go to the fucking suburbs. The fuck are we talking about here? Hell yeah. Hell yeah, it's not that far off. And if you want a mixed drink, fuck. If you want a mixed drink, you're losing an arm and a leg going to a fucking game. You know, it's fucking crazy. It's fucking crazy. Yeah, man. These billionaires want the taxpayers to flip the bill for the fucking billionaires. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And like I said, you've even got people talking about Stephen A. Smith may need to make a run for the president of the United States. Well, I'm sorry, bro. You just showed your ass that you're just going to be like another fucking politician. Another politician who's going to come out and say, oh, we're going to tax the rich. The rich are going to pay their fair share. And at the first moment, you're fucking talking about making us pay for these motherfuckers? Fuck you. Fuck you. Stop lying. Stop lying. Yeah, so basically what it is, Lynch, is they want to build in the same area by Soldier Field if it was done by the city. The McCaskies ultimately want, the McCaskies will stay in that area as long as they're getting aided to pay for the stadium. Because apparently, from what we've heard here in Chicago, not what they heard in New York and LA and all these other fucking moronic areas that are trying to talk about Chicago, but the McCaskies only have a liquid 1.8 billion. Or the net worth of the McCaskies is 1.8 billion. However, they're the ownership of a conglomerate that's worth nearly 9 billion. This is what I'm talking about as far as absolute stupidity. I don't give a fuck if you only have 1.8 billion or somehow you've parlayed your net worth to be 1.8 billion, but you own majority of a $9 billion conglomerate that is the Chicago Bears. I'm sorry. Figure out a way to get your fucking money out of the team and pay for the fucking stadium. No, Soldier Field won't be able to get torn down because it's in the state of Illinois. It is looked at as a major landmark, and it becomes a major political battle in order for you to tear down anything that's listed as a landmark. For instance, if you ever seen the movie Public Enemies with not the one about Al Capone, but Public Enemy when it was Johnny Depp playing John Dillinger. The movie theater, the Biograph, is still standing to this day, the movie theater that he was killed in front of, because that movie theater is a landmark. It hasn't been torn down, and it would cost an insane amount of money for you to try to buy off people to get a landmark torn down in the city of Chicago. Listen, MJ's been doing good with NASCAR, but MJ's not that good of an owner either. I mean, Charlotte never lived up to what everybody thought it was going to be. Yeah, it is. It is. But the problem is once again, they've handicapped themselves. And the city also doesn't have anybody to blame but themselves as well, because again, they're being greedy. The problem is, big up to you, RSV. Big up to you, man. Fellow Midwesterner. I'm guessing, with you being a Detroit Lions fan. But you know what, dude? If they leave Chicago, fuck them. Don't give a fuck. I haven't been to a Bears game in 8 years. I won't give them any more money. I'm sorry, man. I'm not giving them any more money. They can go fuck themselves. The Bears are worth $9 billion, nearly $9 billion, with an operating income of starting to get closer to about $700 million a year. And they're asking the taxpayers of the city of Chicago to pay for their fucking stadium move. They can all go fuck themselves. They can all go fuck themselves. Every single member of that shit McCaskey family can go fuck themselves. They're asking for a break on property tax. What are we talking about here? You're already the second most expensive team in the NFL to go see. You haven't won in 40 fucking years. Doesn't look like we're getting any closer, because now all of a sudden everybody's talking about, because we got the toughest schedule for the NFL and the fact that we got to make so many moves because we've signed so many big contracts with players that don't deserve the money again, like it always is with the fucking Bears. Now we're talking about, oh, we're going to have to worry about going into a rebuild once again in another 2 years. It's the same old shit. It's the same old fucking shit. These motherfuckers don't deserve our money. They don't. They don't. So if Northwest Indiana, which is only a 20-minute drive further from Soldier Field anyways, if Northwest Indiana is going to be the spot for the new Soldier Field, go ahead. Go ahead. If the state of Indiana is going to give you $1 billion for you to help pay for the stadium, go ahead, take it. Go to Northwest Indiana. Go fuck yourself. I'm not paying for you. I'm not paying for you. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. These McCaskies got balls on them like fucking elephants. The fact that you're worth that much fucking money, the fact that your biggest asset in life, the Chicago Bears, is worth that much money, and you're trying to figure out how the taxpayers should help aid in paying for a stadium or even try to flip the whole bill is an absolute fucking disgrace. It's a disgrace. But again, as I said, Chicago Bears fans deserve this as well, because the Bears fans have never called out this ownership, because for the last 20 fucking years, anytime the Bears are good, they kick up the prices a little bit. And they kick up the prices a little bit. And the prices for everything keep going up. It's absolute fucking bullshit, dude. It's absolute fucking bullshit. We don't deserve it. But at the same time, Bears fans do deserve it because they haven't called this out. But these sportscasters, they have never called out this ownership. They have never talked about the fact that the McCaskies broke up the always voted greatest football team of all time in the 85 Bears the following year because they wanted to be cheap and have been cheap the whole time. And yes, the Bears got lucky with a few seasons, like when we made it to the Super Bowl in the 06-07 season. And we made it to the NFC title game in the NFC in 2010-2011. Guess what? We didn't fucking win. And not only have we not won just in these little areas, we haven't won at all. Who the fuck are you to demand fans who haven't seen a championship being raised in this city for 40 fucking years? We saw the fucking Cubs win before you. You know how embarrassing that is? The Cubs didn't win the World Series for 109 fucking years. They were dubbed the lovable losers. The fucking Cubs won before you guys. You should be ashamed of yourselves. The White Sox won before you. The last time the White Sox had a chance at winning was the fucking lockout year in 94. When it should have been the White Sox and now the defunct Montreal Expos as the teams in the World Cup. The World Series. My mistake. What a fuck up that was. But I'm sorry, man. This is ridiculous. This is fucking ridiculous. The audacity of these fucking people. I'm sorry, man. This Chicago Bears situation is really revealing because it shows once again that people are just walking contradictions and they'll say shit just to be in the in crowd or the cool crowd, just to get around certain people because they're all little insignificant fucking worms. That's all they are at the end of the day. I'm sorry. You've seen all these fucking sports writers just again talk about, oh, the rich need to pay their fair share. The moment it's time for the rich to pay their fair share. No. Taxpayers should pay. The Bears shouldn't leave Chicago. The taxpayers should pay. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck yourself. If you want the Chicago Bears to stay in the city that bad, why don't you put up one of your salaries for a couple years to help pay for the money to keep the Chicago Bears there? The Chicago Bears here. If you're going to ask the fucking taxpayers to pay for it. Put your money where your mouth is. You won't. That's why you're already back. That's why you're already trying to come up with bullshit. You guys are even lying. I forgot who it was that said it. They tried to say that the Bears rent is 23%. Is 23% in how taxing it is. Guess what, motherfucker? It's higher than that. It's 32.5%. Guess what? It's also not my fucking problem. That's the deal they made with the city of Chicago. Not my problem. Not my problem. Guess what? It hasn't really worked because they're worth $9 billion. What are we doing here? What are we fucking doing here? They can go fuck themselves, dude. They can go fuck themselves. I'm sorry. And the bad thing is, this is the history of Chicago ownership. This is the history of Chicago ownership. The Cubs didn't win for 109 years. The White Sox, I think, was 89 years before they won their most recent World Series. The Bulls never won until Jordan came. And since Jordan's left, they haven't won since. The Chicago Blackhawks at one point was voted the worst North American franchise out of anything, out of any fucking sport, whether it was basketball, hockey, football, baseball, even the MLS. They were voted the worst fucking team because of how shit Old Man Wirtz, the original Old Man Wirtz, the grandfather, was running that fucking team. The Hawks hadn't won before they won the first one in 2010. They ain't won since 1961. That's how long it took for the Blackhawks. The fucking owner, this is how stupid he was. He stopped putting the Blackhawks on TV unless it was a national game for a rivalry game. Like if it was us versus the Red Wings or us versus the Penguins. Or one of the original 6 games, which is us versus the Maple Leafs, the Rangers, the fucking Bruins, which is Boston, the Maple Leafs, and the Canadiens. That's the only time you could watch the Blackhawks on TV. Otherwise, you had to go to the game. And they were shit. The Blackhawks were so bad, you could get tickets off the ice for $30. That's how bad they were. You know how much them fucking tickets go for now in Chicago? Them is a couple $100. If it's a good team, you might be paying $1,000 for a fucking ticket, depending on where you're at and who it is in the fucking game. That's how bad they were as compared to what they are now. And listen, they haven't won in a few years. They haven't won in 11 years. But they won 3 titles in 5. At least they get to deserve to charge a little bit more because they made a dynasty. No other team has been able to put 3 Stanley Cups together that quickly, the way the Blackhawks have. So it is what it is with that. But the fact of the matter is that, and here, the Cubs had the worst ownership. The Cubs didn't win for 109 fucking years. The Cubs didn't win for 109 fucking years. That's why the Cubs are dubbed the lovable losers. That's why Wrigley Field is dubbed the world's largest outdoor bar. The only other place that can compete with Wrigley as the world's largest outdoor bar is Soldier Field. Because guys are going there spending all types of fucking crazy money to get smashed, even though they were already tailgating. And for those who don't know what tailgating is, tradition in the NFL is you show up to the stadium early and you can start drinking and eating and having a good time in the parking lot before you walk into the stadium. So this is why we say it's so expensive to go to a Chicago Bears game, because you got packages of what you're going to do for tailgating. You might go to an all-inclusive tailgating where you get a sticker and you'll be able to drink and eat for free all night if you pay the premium. Sometimes those are $100, sometimes it's $125. So you're paying $125 for you to have a place to drink and eat before the game and after the game. That still doesn't include what you paid for your fucking ticket. That still doesn't include if you go buy merch or you buy food, or of course you're going to buy more booze in the fucking stadium. Some people have to get so liquored up that they're plastered the first half and then start to get sober the second half because they don't want to pay for the booze inside the game. Because like Lynch put in here, you're talking some of these stadiums in like Chicago, $20 beers, $25 beers. If you don't drink beer and you drink a mixed drink, you're talking anywhere from fucking $28.50 to $30. Fuck, when I went to the Metallica concert at Soldier Field last summer, 2 summers ago, a mixed drink was almost $35. And it's the city getting it because the McCaskies don't own the stadium. They don't make no money on the concerts, which is even more of a reason why, when you look at the fundamentals of business on what they do, this is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous that billionaires are asking taxpayers to pay for their stadium. You're not just going to make your money on the fucking Bears games. You're going to get concerts. You could get a fucking Super Bowl, which is massive money. Massive money. New York doesn't get Super Bowls. They don't get Super Bowls because of the time period. It's normally the warmer states and the dome cities that get Super Bowls. Chicago is the best equipped city to do it. Like, along with LA. That's it. That's it. We can handle all the people that come in, not only as fan bases, but all the media people. We got enough joints across the city to be able to host everybody in Chicago. You even heard Roger Goodell said it when the Bears hosted the NFL draft. They gave it to us 2 years in a row. They said, we love coming to Chicago. We wish you guys had a dome. He said it that long ago. The McCaskies, yeah, okay, maybe. And look, once again, billionaires trying to come up with different scams to fuck the little people to pay for their problems. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous and it's fucking bullshit. And I'm sorry, it's just so fucking frustrating that people get so emotionally tied to these teams that there's a good amount of people. It's absolutely disgrace that people are still trying, because they're so emotionally attached to being a Chicago Bears fan, that they're contemplating that it's okay for us to pay the money for the fucking McCaskies. Sorry, man, this is the whole problem with the fan base. I could care less if they play in the city of Chicago. If the Chicago Bears became a continual Super Bowl team, I would take the train out to Arlington Heights to go see a fucking Bears game. I'm not going to Soldier Field and paying money to see a loser fucking team to keep giving money to these fucking asshole owners. They don't deserve it. Big up Southside. Well, you know what, man? Listen, I hate the fucking Packers because I'm a Bears fan. But you know what? I respect your fan base because you guys hold higher standards to your team than what we do. And this bullshit of what's going on with the Chicago Bears, of talking about leaving the city and playing either in Arlington Heights in the suburbs or in Northwest Indiana. You know what, man? Fuck them motherfuckers. Let them go. Because I don't deserve to be flipping the bill for them. At least you guys with your fan base hold your ownership accountable. And I think your fan base has part ownership as well of the team. You would never allow this, which is why I even though we're our rivals and I hate your fucking team, I still understand and appreciate what you guys do, because it's the whole reason why you guys got 12 fucking championships and have won more recently than we have. So it's you can't hate. It is what it is, but it's the fucking problem with the Bears, dude. They're just so fucking annoying. And like I said, these sports writers are pieces of shit, because 99% of sports writers that you see that are the big ones don't come from the Midwest, let alone Chicago. They don't come from here. So they're not telling the whole truth. Like I said, the one guy said they're paying only 23%. That's completely wrong. They're paying 32.5% to the Park District. But again, that's the deal that they made. Sorry. Fuck them. You've been fucking us as fans with all your crazy prices. I'm sorry. I don't feel sorry for you. You made that decision. And it's not our fault that you guys have either fucked up your money to where you are the main owners of the Bears. You're only either flush 1.8 billion or your net worth is only 1.8 billion, but your team is worth 9 billion. I'm sorry. You guys can levy the fucking amount of money that team is worth and take a loan out on it to build the stadium without having to ask taxpayers to pay for it. I'm sorry, man. That's bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. You're going to make your money no matter what. There's no reason why we should be flipping the bill for you. No, the Bears are trash, Southside. The Bears are trash. Because every fucking time it's something with the Bears, it's always the same 4 years repeated over. Draft a new fucking quarterback or get a new fucking quarterback. Oh, he had a decent year, but now we got to fix the offensive line. Then the offensive line comes, the Bears look good for 1 year, and then the following season, because we fucked up on contracts, because we don't know how to manage a team, the team shit, and then all of a sudden we got to start a whole new rebuild again. It's the same old shit. It's the same old fucking shit with this team. I'm just fucking sick of it. This team is an absolute fucking disgrace. This ownership is a fucking disgrace. Caleb Williams had a very good year this year. I like the kid, but in my opinion, I don't think this kid's going to be the savior for the fucking Bears. I really don't. I think we need to build a team to see where we're going to go. I just think so. Do I think the kid's got a massive potential? 100%. Do I think he could be potentially a Super Bowl winning quarterback? 100% if you put a decent team around him. But if you're going to be the same old fucking owners where you're just going to be cheap and trying to finesse the fans because that's all you know how to do, then no, Caleb Williams is not winning a Super Bowl with the Bears. He'd have to get incredibly lucky to do so because this ownership is bullshit. This ownership is fucking bullshit, and I've just had enough of it. I've just had enough of it. So to Rachel Nichols, to Stephen A. Smith, to Colin Cowherd, to anybody else in the media space that is talking about the NFL and is siding with the ownership, I'm sorry. Stay the fuck out of Chicago because you're speaking nothing but bullshit. But you're also speaking from a privileged area that because you got so much money and you don't, because you're a sports writer and because you don't live in the city of Chicago and because you don't really know what's going on, you're finding an excuse for taxpayers to somehow help flip the bill for a billionaire to build a stadium just to keep the Bears in the city of Chicago. Get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here. You guys can all go fuck yourself. Listen, I thought this would be a call-in show, guys, but I actually got to go. I have an emergency at my work that I need to deal with. I just got a text from my assistant engineer that I need to head into the building. So I appreciate everybody who stopped by for the conversation. I will have a call-in show tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday. I will have a call-in show tomorrow to make up for not being able to do it. Appreciate everybody that stopped by for the conversation. RSV, Lynch, Southside, everybody that's been here, Kyle Walsh, everybody who's been here. I appreciate all you guys stopping by every single time. Hope all is well with you guys. And yeah, I will be back tomorrow for a call-in show to talk some football. Hopefully Arsenal gets the win, and we'll see what happens. But big up, everybody. Appreciate you guys stopping by.